Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Tanya Kocher. A little bit of introduction about me before we go ahead. I'm a copywriter by profession, I'm a writer, I'm an open mic performer, and today it's really an honor or privilege to be associating with Big Spot because I am here to tell my experience on writing. Emotion writing and stirring up the emotions of my TG, of my readers, viewers through my storytelling techniques. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of amazing facts and tips with you guys on the same. But before that, I really hope and pray that you guys are safe at home with your family, with your loved ones. I know that the situation is pretty challenging and that we are really struggling since we are quarantined and we cannot go out of our houses, we cannot do anything. But let's take a time out and appreciate the fact that we are actually getting the time to do and follow the passion that we always wanted to do, but we never really got a chance. So when I talk about myself, I'm actually getting the time to do everything that I always wanted to do, be it writing short stories, be it writing poems that I always wanted to do, be it cooking, learning cooking. I hardly know anything about cooking. So, yes, I'm learning cooking, I'm learning yoga. So, I'm getting amazing opportunity to do things that I have never done before. And it's really giving me a lot of happiness. So, please, you also follow the same. Take out the time to do something that makes you happy. And I'm sure it will bring out a huge difference in you because, after all, it's all about glowing and growing together, right? Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing some of the tips with you on how do we actually write stories that can stir up the emotions of people who are reading your stuff. It could be see, when you write, you write for various mediums. It could be an advertisement that you're writing, it could be a radio ad, it could be a tvc, it could be a short story that you're writing for your readers, it could be a short film. So your medium changes, it from radio, from not being visible, you actually go on the big screen where people can actually see your story transform into various motions, right? Various motion graphics. So these are the various mediums. Also, you, if you're an open mic performer like me, you actually write poems, you write short stories. So now the whole objective is how do we actually bring out those emotions and those feelings into our writing that can impact your TG. Like Donald Mars, a very popular author, once said that your reader does not read, he responds, right? So similarly, it is very challenging at times because not all the times whenever you're writing you may expect that your TG will actually react the same way that your character does, right? It's very difficult, and I have come across many people who say that emotion writing is very difficult since, how do we write humor, because it's all about timing, it's all about the person who's performing. Like, you've seen so many stand up comedians who actually write their own stuff. We don't have a lot of writers writing for them, they do it on their own. Similarly, when you see all these kind of sitcoms on television, it's the many writers say that it's the most difficult form of writing because it's not always to make your audience laugh. Similarly, humor writing is very difficult. Now, when it comes to empathizing, when it comes to serious writing, when you want your audience to cry, how do you do that? I mean, it's not necessary if your character, if your protagonist is crying, your reader will cry, right? So it becomes a challenge, but it is also a great learning experience because you delve into that story bit of how you can actually affect your TG, right? So how do we start about it? I'm gonna take not much of time of yours because the tips that I'm going to be sharing are really easy and they're just three. So however, they're going to be very elaborate. So whenever you start writing, when you want to actually stir up the emotions of whoever you're writing for and whichever medium that you're writing for, these tips will actually work for you. So okay, let's go about it. Often as a writer, we always want to manipulate our characters and our readers. So it is easy to manipulate our characters since we are writing the character, we are forming that particular person in our head, and that person is actually coming out on our paper. We decide what that person is going to look like, what that person is going to behave like, what that person eats, drinks, how is his personality, or is he every physical and demographic and every bit of that character is upon us. So it is easy to manipulate the characters that we are writing, but can we actually manipulate our readers? Think about it. We can't manipulate our readers, right? Because it's out there. If you cannot feel with your character and with the story that you're writing, we cannot actually bring out those emotions in front of our audience, right? So in order to have the TG, whoever it may be, it could be a person sitting in the theater watching your movie, it could be a person reading your book, or it could be a person sitting in the audience watching your open mic performance. How do we actually get that person emote the same way the character in our story emotes? Okay, so here we go. The first point, when you're writing a scene, when you're writing a story, or when you're writing one particular snippet of anything, a short story or poem or anything, you actually first have to imagine the same in your head. You have to experience it firsthand before your TG does. Now, for example, I'm supposed to write a short scene in which I am actually alone in a very grand house, and I experience a ghost, I experience a spirit. Now I cannot expect my audience to be terrified and petrified and be scared the same way that I am or my character is, till the time I actually experience the whole scenario in my head. So the very first very important point is to fall in love with the scene that you want to write. And so, for example, if I'm writing a scene where I experience a ghost, or my character experiences a ghost, how will I actually, so first take you as a person into that picture. You are entering their house and you experience a ghost. You don't experience it in the first go. Obviously, you enter a room and you're seeing something falling across, or it could be any simple thing that the windows are getting shut with the air, anything, right? Whichever scene we would want to go with. So how will you feel if you were in that house in the first place? So you've got to understand that first. Okay, so you experience it in your head, you keep your first person perspective in that place. For example, me, how will I experience that ghostly environment in the house? And then I'm going to start writing it. So when you imagine that particular scenario in your head, you actually write it better. Okay, that's the first way. Now the second way could be that you actually come out and write real life experiences. So it is often said that a writer is a great writer if he or she's had a number of experiences in his or her life. So it could be good, it could be bad. If you have the more exposure makes you a better person, right? Similarly, the more experiences makes you a better writer. So I've had a number of incidents where I've not seen a ghost, but I have come across such spooky feelings. So I know when I'm going to write that particular piece into my short story or whatever short film scene, I know how I want my character to emote the same feeling, because it's coming from my personal experience. So very often it is also said that when you are a writer, you also tend to direct a movie or a short film much better, right? Because it's coming from your perspective. So even if you're writing a short story as a writer, even if you're not a director, you will be able to tell your character, okay, you know what, I have written this, I want you to not be scared, but I want you to be a little no, I don't want you to be like very 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 scared, but I want you to be a little skeptical about the situations that is happening around you, whatever you feel like. So as a writer, you know better as to how that character will portray your character's emotion in front of the camera or in the short story that you're writing. Okay, so these are the two ways. So the first way is obviously that you have to experience the whole scenario in your head, and the second thing is that if you've had that personal experience, you can also write it down. It's a brilliant way because you've experienced it firsthand. The third way is actually doing a vox pop. You know what a vox pop is? Okay, so basically vox pop is going to people and asking about their experiences as to have they come across any such thing. So whenever you see any movies like which are based on real life incidents, we've seen a lot of biopics, right? So when you see pictures like No One Killed Jessica, so I'm sure that the makers of those movies and the directors and the writers must have had a number of interviews with the real life characters of that incident, or it could be crime reporters, journalists, a lot of people, so that when actually they are making that particular character come out um, from real to real, or in their short story or novel or whatever, they will actually, it will be easier for them to emote the same write the same emotions of the real person into the real person. Yeah, that's why me as a viewer will relate to that particular character or will empathize with that particular character. So it's even more better that if you go out and talk to people, you take a notepad and a pen with you and you start writing there the pointers of how they came across the particular situation, and how they felt at the time of what had happened. So for example, if I take the movie example No One Killed Jessica, so I'm sure the writers and the directors who met Sabrina Lal, Jessica Lal's sister, they must have asked her how did you feel when the whole scenario was, the whole judgment was against you. What was your feeling? Were you frustrated? Were you angry? So with the help of those pointers, the writers and the directors will actually write it in their novel and movie as to how their character will behave in a certain manner. So there are three most important ways. First, you experience it in your head. If you had a real life experience in your own, you can actually write it down. And the third thing is that you can go and ask people about it. Okay, so it's a very so see, the pointers that I'm telling you, it is very simple. It's a daily to do thing, right? But it's very important that you bring it into practice, because once you bring it into practice, you will become an amazing writer automatically. Okay, so that's the first point. Now second point is that you make your reader or viewer empathize with your character, or make your character very sympathetic. Okay, so now if I say that the reader can actually identify with your reader or the viewer, whoever can identify with your character's dreams and aspirations and struggles, challenges, I think that TG, whoever it is, so TG is target group obviously, so whoever your TG is will actually understand your character better. Now, let me give you a very small example. I am a huge fan of the movie called Eat Pray Love. I'm sure you guys have seen that movie. If not, please go and watch it. It's there on Netflix, so it's easily available on Amazon Prime and Netflix. Please go and watch that movie. So I'm a huge fan of that movie. So when I saw that movie for the very first time a few years ago, I could actually relate to the protagonist of the movie. Her name is Elizabeth. Okay, in the movie. So I could actually feel what she's going through. I could feel with her struggles. I could feel what is going inside her head, what kind of challenges she's facing. Because somewhere I know that me as a person, I am very similar to that character. Okay, so if you write your character in that way, it could be anybody. I'm sure your TJ will be able to relate the same. So very often, that's why I'm telling you, people actually, whoever the directors are, the writers are, they go and talk to people, because then they understand the point of view. Now for example, if I need to make a movie on somebody who's a 16-year-old girl who goes to college or school, whatever, and she's going through a lot of bully and body shaming because she's fat. Now I will go and talk to a certain age group of people. It could be anybody from 12 to 19 years of age, and I will go and talk to those set of people, children, and I will ask them if they're going through body shaming, if they have certain challenges and struggles. So I've taken an interview of those people. Now when I start writing the character, I will adapt those uh, research that I have done for my character into that character and into that storytelling, so that whenever I'm making a movie for that particular TG, I know that they will be able to relate to the scene, to the story, to the movie very well. Okay, so so obviously the second step why I say that it is to you make your readers or viewers sympathize with your character, of going back to the first thing, is to understand how that character feels. And how do you do that? You go and talk to people, or if you've had a first hand experience yourself. Okay, so the second thing obviously is to make your readers and viewers sympathize with your character. Now another example I'll give you, I am a huge fan of this movie. I don't know if you've watched Do Duni Jar. It's Rishi Kapoor and his wife Neetu Kapoor. So I really am in love with that movie. It's a movie by Disney, I feel. Yeah, so it's a very simple movie, and very well made. The thought is very simple. The whole background of the story is very simple, but I could really enjoy that movie and relate to that movie because whatever characters that are shown in the movie are very similar to my family members. So I'm sure that whenever they, and it's shot in Delhi, so I'm sure the kind of behavioral pattern that people have in a certain city or a certain community is going to be different from certain other community. So there is a lot of research work involved, there is a lot of first hand experiences involved, and that's how your characters come alive, and your readers and your viewers are able to emote with your story and your characters. Okay, so this is the second point. Now the third point is very 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 important, and it's not just for uh, it goes for every kind of medium that you're writing for. Like I mentioned in the first, if you're writing a TVC, if you're writing a radio ad, if you're writing for your if you're writing a stand-up comedy which you've got to perform in the evening. Okay, if you're writing a movie, you need to know your TG. TG is your target group. TG refers to a group of people whom you are writing for. Okay, now for example, if I need to write a movie which is on a single mother who is probably 35-year-old, I cannot uh, relate it to somebody and write it for somebody who's for a 16-year-old girl. I need to know that if my character is 35, I'm also writing for people who are probably 25 or 24 and above. Okay, because below that my TG changes, their the thinking pattern changes, their psychological behavior changes, right? So you need to understand those points. Now for example, I'll give you another very personal example of mine. I was doing an ad campaign. It wasn't an ad campaign, but it was an experiential campaign, BTL. I had to write a small nukkad natak for people in the rural areas. Okay, now they said that it is supposed to be, the brief that was given to us, that it is supposed to be on the lines of stand-up comedy. Now I cannot write that kind of stand-up comedy which is used in the urban areas and in the metropolitan cities, because I know that my rural audience will not be able to relate to it, right? The audience is completely different, and they, first of all, they do not understand English. They just understand Hindi or their regional language. So I had it was for the uh, north state and certain districts in them. So I had written it in Hindi, which was actually again translated into their regional language. And then later, the second point that came in there was that I had to communicate what my brand is trying to say. So I had to write it in a certain way that they understand. So it was, apart from the language bit, I had to write it in a way where the rural audience thinks in a certain way. So for example, it was for a bank. I cannot really disclose which bank it was, but it was for a bank. So now I will have to understand what their challenges are. Do the rural audience have any problems when they go to a bank? What kind of problems they face? So I will go and I will ask people. Okay, I will talk to a number of people in the rural areas. I will talk to people who have probably done this kind of campaign before, any sort of thing. And then I will, through my analysis, I will write some pointers, and then I will start writing a story. So research is very important, and under research comes your knowing your TG and how do they think and how do they behave in a certain way. So it's, again, it's not just for your ad campaigns and any sort of event. It is for any medium that you're writing for. Again, it could be a poem that you're supposed to speak on the stage for an open mic performance. Okay, so TG knowing is very, very, very important. So guys, these were the 3 points that are very basic, very understandable, very easy, that you can follow while you're writing, um, to stir up the emotions, in your in your viewers, TGs, readers, whoever you're writing for. They're very easy to follow, and I'm sure that you can start it from today. And the more you practice these 3 points, the more better writer you become. And obviously this does not end here. I'm going to come again with a number of more sessions on writing and various different topics, of course on PicSpot. So keep watching this space, ask your friends to follow this page, share this video, and I'll be back soon. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay at homes, very importantly. Bye guys, see you.